Hi, I'm standing in the University Observatory Quarter, not far from where I left off the last video, and I'm looking down on the Blavatnik, and I'm going to show you that, which is new and in fact still being constructed. It's the Schwarzman Centre for the Humanities. Again, it's part of the university. And I read somewhere that it was enabled by a donation of £125 million. The thing that most strikes me about it is how remarkably quickly it was built. Because normally in Britain, a building like that would take a year or two. And the facade, at least, I don't know how much interior there is, that facade appeared in just a few weeks. I was really surprised. Now I can't go round there, so I can show you there's his name. Stephen A. Schwarzman Centre for the Humanities, it says. And I did a little video of about 5 minutes duration where I just walked along the hoarding and recorded some designs they'd put on the outside for the few weeks that the hoarding was up. This is another one of the oxen, the 60 big and quite a few small oxen that are spread around Oxford as part of Sobel House's money raising. This one has a replica of the Bridge of Sighs on it. Rather nice. There you are. And the ear, maybe some people remember a substance called Vic Vapo Rub, which you rubbed on your chest in order to relieve congestion. The ear looks remarkably like the bottles that Vic came in. This is Freud's cafe that appears to have been closed for quite a time. Let's see whether it's back open. Nope. That looks pretty firmly closed. The Schwarzman looks inaccessible from this side. So I'm going to walk up Walton Street, northwards, and go right along Observatory Street, I think, and then back down and back into the Observatory Quarter on the other side. Oh no, I don't need to do that. I can come through this way. So this is another new bit of... Oh no, sorry, this is the Jericho Health Centre. And that is what the Observatory Quarter is named after. That is the Radcliffe Observatory, and it was built between 1772 and I think 1794, and it's got an octagonal tower which is based on the Tower of the Winds in Athens. That's in the Agora, and you'll find plenty of images of it on the web, and if you happen to be in Athens, anyone will tell you where it is. Apparently the original, the Greek Tower of the Winds, was built 50 BC or earlier, and it was a sort of public clock tower. It was built very tall so that sundials on it would be visible. There was also a water clock and a, a wind vane, weather vane. And although it may not be visible from here, there are 8 reliefs of Greek wind gods around the outside of the tower, each corresponding to a different compass direction. So that's the Tower of the Winds. It's topped with a statue of Atlas holding up the globe. Which is by a fairly well-known sculptor called John Bacon, who also did St Paul's, Westminster Abbey, and several Oxford colleges, including Christ Church. I'm not sure what that building is now. It used to be part of the Radcliffe Infirmary. I think the horrible cafe was somewhere on the other side. So, who was John Radcliffe? Buildings all over Oxford have his name on. Radcliffe Infirmary, Radcliffe Square, Radcliffe Camera, John Radcliffe Hospital, and half a dozen more that I've forgotten. He was a physician, academic, and politician, and he was an undergraduate at University College, and then became a fellow of Lincoln, and he also became royal physician to the King William III and the Queen Mary II. Apparently he stopped being physician to William III because he wasn't terribly polite. It's recorded that he said to King William, "Why, truly, I would not have your Majesty's 2 legs for all your 3 kingdoms." I don't know what was wrong with King William's legs, however. Maybe he didn't take enough exercise. He should have gone on some walking tours. Radcliffe was very wealthy. His estate was valued at 4,000 in 1758, and one of the things he funded was the Radcliffe Infirmary Hospital. The trustees proposed that this would be a good thing to do with his money. This is the hoarding around the Schwarzman. Not quite as... And it still has the little pictures. I'm not sure what happens if I video a QR code. It obviously doesn't cause my video to display whatever's at the other end, but I don't know whether it will spontaneously make yours do so when you watch it. Probably not. Okay, so those are the pictures again. That's that's the other side of the Maths Institute. Here we have yet another bull. And this one clearly has an astronomical theme. Oh, I like the colours. It's very psychedelic. And I presume that these are wind gods. Well, I'm just being careful not to fall off the curb because the grass is above ground level. It's plastic. I don't actually know what the wind gods did in Greek legend, though most of the gods seem to spend a lot of time arguing with or fighting each other, so maybe they did that. One of them appears to be holding lots of flowers in their toga, or whatever you call it. It's not a toga, is it? Is it a chiton or chiton? That god must be spring, mustn't they, or summer, or at least the winds coming from a spring-like direction. I was going to say that none of them were holding lyres, but that one is holding a lyre. He's probably going to rain down on somebody. This is clearly one of the more mature gods. And he's holding an amphora. No, it's not an amphora, it's not long enough. He looks quite fierce. He must be an autumn wind, because I think he's got the harvest wrapped up, wheat and various good things to eat. I can't see any of them who are holding snow, but it does snow in Athens. My eyesight isn't quite good enough to make out the names of all the gods. That's Evros, the one in the middle there, and I think the one on the left is Notos. Be nice if they had a list at ground level. Anyway, that's the Radcliffe Observatory Quarter. Let's now finish with Observatory Street. So I'm now coming back out onto Woodstock Road, and I'm opposite St Anne's College. That's the Royal Oak pub. I'll have a look at that another time. This is facing north up Woodstock Road. That's Green Templeton College, just behind the observatory. There's a useful little cluster of shops up on the left, including a dry cleaners, grocers, which sometimes sells nice local honey, pots of bean snacks and so on. And the most recommended thing is bread by a bakery from Wheatley, a bakery called Cornfields. I don't think it's organic, but it uses very few ingredients. You don't find it's full of flour improvers and other stuff like you see on the side of a Hovis or an Allison's or Warburton's loaf. So it's worth looking for, at least try it. There's a chemist and there's a newsagent and stationer. So Woodstock Road Chemist, East-West Provision is the grocers. That's the dry cleaner. And Court's Candy Shop is the stationer and newsagents. And there's also a vet and a hairdresser. I suppose they could merge the vet and the hairdresser into one, so that you could have your cat groomed. That's Observatory Street. Apparently, looking on Rightmove, the house sales site, or house price site, the average price of a house here now is 1,100,000. Fairly high, despite the small size of the houses, because they're close to the city centre, close to the shops in Jericho, and it's generally a nice location. When they were originally built, starting around about 1834, they were definitely for the poor side of society, people like canal workers and railway workers. Just to interrupt, this is apparently the first block of flats built in Oxford, Belsize Court.
Keep going. Keep going. Can you see our car?
Built 1936. Maybe the first large block of flats anyway. I'm sure there were houses that had been converted into flats, but anything purpose-built for apartment living, this is the first. I wonder what the sound is. Oh, thanks, sorry. I'm doing a virtual tour, and I've just got to Observatory Street.
Well done.
Thanks. So they're actually quite ornate, aren't they? Look at the windows there. And the balconies. Rather nice. Is that meant to be reminiscent of Tudor architecture? Or Tudor window shapes, anyway? Okay, so that's Belsize Court. Now, there's something rather special about Observatory Street. And that's the colours of the houses. Apparently a lot of the ones on the south side are fronted in stucco. And those are their colours. It's nice that the residents do this. That's a little off street called Adelaide Street, which goes to the left and then comes back onto Walton Street. The most noticeable colour here is that mid-green. That used to be a pub. I think it was called the Lord Napier. Now it's flats. That's Adelaide Street again, and that is the north side of Observatory Street. Belsize Court flats at the end. Okay, well, that's it for today. So this is me on Observatory Street and Walton Street. See you next time.